And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Friday, October 30th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Friday morning, and we're happy to have you with us. We're always glad to be on the air. And today, of course, for Wilson Bank and Trust. David Walden is with us this morning to talk about investments. Good morning to you.
Coleman.
How's it going?
Very good. Glad to be here this morning.
Well, I was talking to some people about Wilson Bank and the different categories, but you people in the investment department, we got around to that and mentioned your name, and they had nothing but good to say about you and how hard a worker you are and what a good advisor you are for people. And this is true.
Well, I appreciate the comments. I'm glad you probably ran into my mom somewhere, I'm assuming, so I really appreciate that.
No, actually, I don't think I know your mother. But anyway, welcome this morning.
Yeah, very glad to be here. Wanted to start off just giving a brief market update. As you can imagine, this has been a fascinating year. We're all living through from many different areas, the stock market included in that. And year to date, as you look across the markets and you see what the performance is, it's really been a story of have and have nots. We've seen many businesses that are thriving actually in this environment, which is very odd to say, the U.S. economy is going through or perhaps went through a recession and areas benefited and then areas contracted, And so when you look across the markets and if as an investor, as you look across your portfolio and you look to see what did what, you're going to see a vast difference really if you do have a diversified portfolio. And some areas did really well and some areas didn't. But blended together so far year to date coming into this week, the markets were basically up a little bit. The S&P was up about 8%, Dow Jones was up 1%, and international markets were down about 5%.
Well, it's been a strange year in a lot of ways, but it's your job to help people make money if you can, and of course you've got a lot of resources there.
We do. It's been it's one of those things as we look back on 2020, if I had said we met on January 1st and we could somehow had a crystal ball and we could rub it and see the future and we saw the next 10 months and we said, hey, we're going to have quarantines or we're going to lock down and unemployment's going to go from one of the best we've ever seen to one of the worst we've ever seen in the matter of a month, and we have to lock our money in. What do you want to do? We never would have guessed we actually would have made a return on stocks during that period of time. So it has been fascinating, and we've been spending a lot of time talking about the election that's coming up next week and the ramifications of that as an investor, and really speaking a lot of long-term principles of investing, just speaking of maintaining a plan and trying not to become too emotional in what is really an emotional season we're about to enter in the next week to what could be months.
Well, you have a number of people that you've worked with probably for years. I guess every once in a while a new person comes along. We talked about that one time, I think, you and I, and actually a lot of young people don't start investing. They got so much going for them getting started in life, family, children, all of that. It's hard to save, but it's the wise thing to do if you can figure out a way.
Well, absolutely, and the younger you get going, the better off obviously we'll all be in the long run. But we help investors from all ages, from people that are getting started to people that we spend a lot of time with people as they're preparing for retirement. For a lot of families, they know what their balances are, but they truly don't know what that means to them and their family as far as what they can do in retirement. How much can we spend? What's an appropriate amount? How should I invest money? What's appropriate there? How much should I have in the market versus how much I should have in safe things? And so we spend a lot of time through education and then advising people as time goes on. And we've got a great group of advisors locally that can help people with that. Beyond myself, and we've got several advisors in the Lebanon office, as well as we've got advisors spread throughout all the markets that we serve.
If somebody wanted to find you, where are you at the main office?
I am.
You're still at the main office.
I am myself, and Heidi King, Justin Doris, Damon Bates, and Philip Staples are all financial advisors in the main office here in Lebanon.
All right. Well, you've got a good team there. I think you said either 5 or 6 you named off.
Well, we've got several. Larry Squire started the program. I don't know, 6 years ago, and from there it's grown to be, we've grown it significantly.
Well, you sure have. And what's the easiest way somebody to contact you? Just pick up the phone, or?
Yes, they can call our office at 615-443-6509, and we can direct them to a financial advisor that'd be glad to help them.
Well, you've the investment department really has come a long way, and it started out with one person, and you've got somebody available, I think, in every branch now. So that says a lot. You've been doing something right, and I think you really enjoy what you do too, don't you?
Oh, I love it. I've been very fortunate to be in an industry where you can truly help people. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I love this community. I grew up here, and it's been a huge blessing to be able to do something that you believe in and that you enjoy, and that you get to help other families,
Right.
and then you get to see them work hard for their money and hopefully turn that into something that helps them down the road.
All right, we've talked about investments. We better do a little disclosure here this morning.
Let's do it. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, an independent broker-dealer, and are not insured by bank insurance, the FDIC, or any other government agency, are not deposits or obligations of the bank, are not guaranteed by the bank, and are subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal.
David Walden, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate your visit, and we'll see you next time, whenever that is.
Thank you, Coleman.
Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC. They're an equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Middle Tennessee's community bank. 10 after the hour. And today, Rick Bell joins us. He's paying for his time to talk about his candidacy for mayor of the city of Lebanon. Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good to see you again. And of course, here we are on the Friday before Election Day next Tuesday. Early voting, I believe, ended yesterday.
It did.
I don't know that your message has changed a lot from when you've been here before, but we could talk for just a moment about the early voting, which I think might have surprised nearly everybody, especially the long lines that are here in Lebanon and maybe some other places.
Well, it was a record turnout, and here at the Lebanon location, lines are wrapped around the building pretty much every day, and I can tell you, standing on that sidewalk across the street and holding a sign and waving at people, it was a very humbling experience to see democracy in action, and to have people stand in line and give you a thumbs up. That's always a good feeling. But really to know that after all these months of hard work, that this is up to the voters, and they're going in there and they're expressing their voice and choosing who they want to be the next mayor of Lebanon.
Has anything really about your message changed? Are you pretty much still saying the same thing you said the first time when you announced, when you came here on the radio and all of that?
I am.
The message pretty much the same.
I am. When I announced I was running several months ago, one of the things I said was that I want to listen to the people, and I have walked over 700,000 steps across this city in every ward, and we have listened to the people. And when I say we, I've had a lot of volunteers who have walked with me, and as we've listened to people and talked with them, one of the things that we've learned is that what's important to them is also important to us, and that's really what we've been talking about. Financial responsibility. Last year, Mayor Ash raised property taxes 41%, and people have talked about that a lot. Smart growth, protecting our established neighborhoods, and one of the things that's really been important to people is quality of life. They see growth that's here and that's coming, and they want the amenities that come with growth, restaurants and greenways and more things to do here in Lebanon for everyone, and that's something that I've heard a lot about, and that's one of my goals as mayor is to make sure people get what they want and get what they deserve, and get the good things that come with growth, and not just the challenges, and also Lebanon's identity. People who have lived here a long time, and also people who have moved here. They're here for a reason. That's because Lebanon is a special place to live, and we need to hold on to that. So yeah, I mean, it's been those 4 points all the way through.
Yeah, and that's really I think you've talked about them every time you've been here: fiscal responsibility, smart growth, quality of life, and Lebanon's identity. And that's kind of the platform you've been running on, what you want to do about those things.
It is, and all four of those things are important. I've talked a lot about the future of Lebanon, but the future is not 20 or 30 years away. The future is now. And all these things are important at this moment because we have to have plans in order to make all four of those things work. You have to have a good financial plan. You have to have a good plan to make sure that the growth that comes is the growth we want. You have to have a plan to be able to attract the amenities that we want. And you also have to have a plan to protect who we are. And right now, I just don't believe those plans are in place, and that's what I want to do.
Maybe over half the people who are going to vote have already voted, but if there's 40, 45, even 50% left, the message is especially for them this morning. And as we've already established, your message really hasn't changed. It's been pretty much the same all along. How confident are you? That might not be the right thing to ask here, but
I can tell you that, you know, when I got into this campaign, the one thing I want to do is work hard, because I believe that a candidate for mayor should work to earn people's vote, and we've done that. You know, we've got out there, and as I said, we've walked neighborhoods and stood on street corners and waved, and we've done it in the heat and the rain, and now it's gotten cold, and so that was my goal, you know, to work as hard as I could and leave it up to the voters and express my message to them, and I really believe that message has been, you know, something that people want to hear. Now it's up to them. A lot of people have already voted, but we still have election day on Tuesday, and I know a lot more people are going to vote. And as I sit here today, I want to ask them for their vote, because it's not over yet. And Tuesday night, you know, we'll count the votes and see what happens, and hopefully I'll come out on top.
all right. Rick Bell is here. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be back and talk more with Rick in a moment here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford, and that regular oil change is only $24.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic. Let's check in with Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's really increased quite a bit on Highway 109 here in Wilson County, working your way towards the interstate. A crash being checked on right now at 2nd Avenue, right at the interstate. The fire department's been dispatched to Briley Parkway at Clarksville Pike on that ramp at that particular accident. Celebrate autumn this weekend at Ober-Gatlinburg during Oktoberfest. This is the last weekend. Check it out at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather, but just like the weather, one moment it's sunny and the next you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help, a reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
It's that time of year full of pumpkin spice and cool nights, and you know what that means. It's time for the Mill at Christmas. Vendors galore at the historic Mill at Lebanon. Friday, November 6th, Sip and Shop. Doors open at 5 p.m. and tickets available at the door. Saturday, November 7th, Family Fun Day. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free for all to attend. Santa arrives at noon. Join us at the Mill at Christmas, November 6th and 7th at the Mill at Lebanon. Facebook, Happenings at the Mill.
In times of crisis, and especially when you're isolated, it helps to know someone has your best interest at heart. At Wilson Bank and Trust, standing strong for others has always been one of our most important roles, and we're still here for you now. Through these days of disruption and distancing, you can count on us to keep you connected with your financial services, and we'll continue to provide financial relief for households and businesses. Thanks for supporting our ongoing commitment to service. Working together, we'll weather this storm too. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What would you like to see changed in Ward 2? Has anyone ever asked you? I'm Lisa Noble, and I'm ready to get to work for you. We all have ideas and things we would like to change, but until we work together as a community, no one will listen. We've had the same representation in Ward 2 for years, so if your voice hasn't been heard or you've seen no changes, you need to make the change this election. So when you go to the polls, vote Lisa Noble for someone you can have access to and who will work with you to bring some of our ideas to life on the east side of Lebanon.
This ad was paid for by Committee to Elect Lisa Noble. A. Tyler Whitaker, Treasurer.
Coleman & Company here on this Friday morning. Rick Bell is with us. Rick Bell for mayor, paying for the time this morning. And we might expound a little bit on these 4 points of your campaign. And one of the things you have think Rick really bear down on it, is fiscal financial responsibility. And of course, you've had your criticism of the tax increase, but you've talked about managing the tax dollars maybe more efficiently. You might talk a little bit about how you can do that.
Okay, thank you, Coleman. I really believe that the number one job of the mayor is to manage the people's money, and that is, that is up to the mayor. And when a department head comes to the mayor's office and says, they want to spend some money, the answer is not always yes, or take it to the council, or do what you think is best. The answer is, let's study this. Get the financial director in there, have a meeting, really dig into it, and determine, is this something that we need? Is this something that we want? Is this something that we don't have to have? And you really have to study and become educated on that topic.
Do you feel that hasn't been done, and maybe as thoroughly as you want to do it?
I really don't. I really believe that a lot of these things have been just left up to the council for them to handle, and I really believe that it needs to take place in the mayor's office. And once it's studied, as mayor, I may say, hey, this is something we need, we have to do it, and I'll take it to council and I'll lead the way and say, council, this is something I really want you to look at hard and hope that you approve. But if it's something we don't need, it stops in the mayor's office, and the council never sees it. That's managing the budget and understanding that you can't have everything. It's just like our budgets at home. If we have a budget and there's something we want, we may not be able to get it. We may have to stick with something we need. So it's really financial responsibility to look at that budget, staying within budget, not overspending, and then have to come in later and say, we don't have enough money, we have to raise taxes. We can't continue a tax and spend mentality.
Are there particular areas that you know about that you feel like you would manage different, or would not have wanted money spent in certain places?
Well, it's every department that we have in the city is important, and each department is run differently. Some of them run more efficiently than others. And what I'll do as mayor is first day is go in there and look at that budget, get with the financial director and talk with the department heads, talk to them about each one of their budgets, and look and see, okay, what are you doing well? What are you not doing well? Where are you spending money that you need? Where are you spending money that you don't need? And really look at each budget. And going into the next budget year, look for each one to make cuts. Now, I'm not talking about across the board cuts, 2%, 5%, 10%, anything like that, because, as I said, each department runs more, some run more efficiently than others. And I don't want to cost anybody their jobs. That's important because, our employees in this city are great. They're the ones that provide us with the services that we need. And so, we don't need that to happen. But I know there are cuts there. And so some departments may have to cut more than others, but there are cuts that are available. I know they are.
As far as smart growth goes, we are a growing area, and everybody just about knows that and would agree with that.
That's
How
right.
we're going to grow, I guess, is the question. And have we had as smart a growth up till now as we can have? What can you do about that?
Well, right now there's 8,000 new homes in the pipeline for the city. I just read in the paper this morning that 700 new homes were approved out on 109. And what we have to really do is put ourselves in a position to be able to pick and choose the development and the growth we want, and not accept everything. Not every development is good. It's not all bad. We have to be able to pick and choose. And to do that, you have to have a plan. And right now, I just don't believe that plan is in place. Several years ago when I was on city council, we started the process of creating the comprehensive plan, which is basically the future land use of the city, where if somebody wants to come in and build something, the city map can show them, okay, this is what we want in this location. It's been over 3 years now, and that plan is still not in place. That's what I'm talking about. If you don't have a plan, then growth is going to overwhelm us, and we're going to become suburban sprawl, and we can't let that happen. And that's part of protecting Lebanon's identity. We can't be a city of just massive growth and get overwhelmed by that. That's when you really lose who you are. and there has to be a plan for that, and that plan's not in place. So as mayor, I'll make sure those plans go in place.
Well, you have been somewhat of a developer yourself, you and your brother and your family interest, I guess. So I don't think we could say you're anti-development or anti-builders or whatever. You probably have some good friends in that. But as mayor, you have a responsibility as to how that is done.
As mayor, I work for the people, and as I said, there's good growth and there's bad growth, and you're right. My family history is has been home builders. My grandfather J.W. Van Hook, he built homes here in town, and he built a lot of neighborhoods like Shenandoah. He built the Cass Heights extension between Leeville and Franklin Road, and he built the neighborhood out by the airport, Horn Springs Estates. And I'll tell you, my Aunt Peggy, she built Gears Place, and my other Aunt Nancy, she did South Fork, and yes, my brother's a builder. But one of the things that those neighborhoods all have in common is they are quality neighborhoods. Those are places where people have lived for decades. They've made lives there. They've raised their kids there. People have retired there, and now new people are moving in there too, and so. That's what I'm talking about. We need quality neighborhoods and quality development. And with my family's history, I think we've done that. We have built quality neighborhoods, and that's what we need to attract here. Things like that.
Quality of life and Lebanon's identity kind of run together. There's a coordination there, and that's the last thing maybe we'll talk about here this morning. But I think. Financial responsibility and the smart growth you're talking about are going to lead to better quality of life and enhance Lebanon's identity.
Well, it all does work together, and quality of life is something that we've all heard as we've walked these neighborhoods over and over. People want restaurants. They want better places to eat, and they want them, scattered out too, where it's more convenient as well. We have 4 interstate exits. We don't utilize all of them as far as that type of development. I believe that's something we're missing out on, not just as provide things for people here in Lebanon, but to get tax money coming off the interstate, to spend here. But also, there's also local businesses enhancing local restaurants, locally owned shops and stores, because I believe that's really the backbone of our economy, are people who invest here, people who live here and decide to put their businesses here. And a lot of times, the local places, they're the best places to eat. It's not the chain restaurants. So it's really twofold. You want to bring in things on the interstates, but you also want to bring things here into the core of our city where we can go and be with our neighbors and eat and have a good time and enjoy ourselves. And that's part of quality of life, and it's also part of our identity.
Well, anything else? Maybe you brought some notes. I don't know what. Hopefully we've covered what you wanted to. But anything else? We got about 3 minutes here to close it out, Rick.
Well, one of the things I want to say, Coleman, is that over the past several months, I've really enjoyed coming out here and talking to you. And
well, thank you.
And
we enjoyed having you.
and talking to the people of Lebanon, and what you do here on the radio is a great service to the community. There's a lot of people out there listening to you every day, and this is where they get their information. And I know you've done this for a long time. You have your book here that people sign, and I really appreciate that. And I was thinking as I was sitting here that the first time I ever came to the studio, I was in 6th grade at McLean School, and I came out here for a spelling bee. and I really want to ask people's vote. We've talked about this message, as you said, for months now, and I think it's resonated with people. And I ask people for their vote, and hopefully I can, over the next 4 years, come out here and talk to you every 2 weeks about what's happened on the city council. And if anybody wants to get in touch with me, my number is 615-598-8900. We still have several days of campaign. We're going to go out there and work hard every day, all the way up till next Tuesday. If you need anything or have any questions, please reach out to me, and then we'll we'll see what happens Tuesday
Well,
night.
you talked about working hard for this, and you sure have. You've had a lot of signs all over
We have.
Lebanon, and I imagine a lot of those are people who they either ask for one or people who allowed you to put one there. That's kind of the way that usually works, I think.
It is, and one of the things that, I've never run for office before, so I didn't really know how that worked, and one of the things that we've been really proud of is that all those signs you see, people called us and said, "Hey, we'd love to have a sign," and so that was very humbling, and I was honored to be able to do that, because when somebody puts a sign in the yard, that means a lot, and as you said, we've had a lot out there, and I felt really lucky to have that support, and very thankful.
Well, here in our last minute, remind everybody again, of course, early voting did end yesterday, and probably, I'm going to guess 50% or more of people have already voted, but that means there's 45 or 50% that haven't will be voting next Tuesday. And the message today is for them, and you want to be our next mayor.
I do. I want to be your next mayor, and please go out and vote. Take part in the process. I have taught school for 20 years, and I've talked about elections, and I understand this side of it, and I also understand, it's really important to get out there and have a voice. So please go out there and vote, and I ask you to vote for me. Vote for Rick Bell for mayor. I promise you I will work hard for this city, and I'll work hard for you. These past few months, we have gone out and worked and talked with people, and I have learned, and I've listened, and I would like the opportunity to put those in place.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us this morning. Again, time being paid for this morning by Rick Bell for mayor. And that is part one of Coleman and Company. Hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:30. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. I want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental. They have a large inventory of Exmark mowers. We want to invite you to stop by on Saturday. Free popcorn, Southern hospitality. See all the new products, and they'd love to share a few stories with you, too. They are great folks, and we're talking about Absolute Kubota and Rental, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. A car has flipped here on 40 westbound at Stewart's Ferry Pike. There's so much traffic volume coming through this area right now, coming down the interstate here on 40 westbound at Stewart's Ferry Pike as we look at it live. You got all this traffic behind it coming in from Wilson County. 65 starting to get busy as well southbound here at Trinity Lane. Hey, check out the all-new Andre Chicken Sandwich now available at Prince's Hot Chicken, 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Coleman Walker inviting you to join Judge Barry Tatum and me for live election coverage starting when the polls close at 7 p.m. on November 3rd. It's brought to you by A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, Burdine Supply, Designer Carpets, Partlow Funeral Chapel, Powell and Meadows Insurance, Steve Mull Plumbing, and the Wilson Post. Join us for live election coverage November 3rd starting at 7 p.m. on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490.
Hello. I'm Rick Bell. Lebanon needs leadership. Now is the time to lead our city into the future. I will work every day to manage your tax dollars more effectively, protect our established neighborhoods, recruit and create amenities you deserve, and protect what makes Lebanon a special place to live, work, and play. I'm Rick Bell. I would appreciate your vote November 3rd. Early voting starts October 14th and continues through October 29th.
Paid for by Rick Bell for Mayor, Adrian Kelly, Treasurer.
If you're looking for land to build a home, call me.
Call me if you want to put your home on the market.
Call me if you're ready to buy your next home, or if you're a first-time home buyer, call me.
Call me if you would like to know how much your home is worth. Call me, and don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
WANT is proud to announce the return of the Fakes and Hooker Scoreboard Show. Every Friday night, we will bring you interviews with Wilson County coaches directly after the LHS football game. The 2020 Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, Burdine Supply, Designers Carpet, Kitty Salas and the hometown team of Keller Williams, Lebanon Appliance, Minchie's Landscape, Palometto's Insurance, and Sammy B's Restaurant. That's every Friday night after the LHS football broadcast, right here on WANT 98.9, Wilson County's own radio.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
It's going to be a chilly one out there today. Highs this afternoon will only top out in the mid-50s with partly cloudy skies. On Saturday, temperatures do warm up into the mid-60s with bright sunny skies. A cold front moves in on Sunday, bringing in a reinforcing shot of cold air. Highs on Sunday reach the low 60s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It is a Friday morning. We always look forward to this time because we get to talk about the C&D team, and with the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. Now, most of the time we've got 2 or 3 people here, most of the time 2 really, but today we just got Medina. Medina, good morning.
Good morning.
Medina Himantoli, part of the C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty, West Main Street here in Lebanon, been to that location all these years. Great people, great service. Somebody answers the phone 24 hours a day. They are people you can trust, and you are one of them.
That's right. That's right. Yes, I am here. You're going to call me, and don't make a move without me. Oh, I said it once.
Oh, Granny listening this morning?
Of course she is.
Well, good morning,
She
Granny.
listens all the time.
Your
yes.
grandmother, she listens even when you're not here doing the commercial?
Yes,
well,
that is
good.
correct. Yeah. Oh, she listens 24/7. Yes.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. What you got for us today?
Well, this morning we've got one coming up that it's on 727 Meadow Lane here in Lebanon. And it'll be coming up pretty soon, the next couple of weeks. And it's 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths. And it had a garage. It's been converted into a living area. It has original hardwood floors. And it has a great backyard. And it's listed at $239,900. So it's a great deal for a first-time home buyer, a starter home, a retired couple, investment property, but it is at 727 Meadow Lane, but it's coming up soon, and it's an estate, so the children are cleaning it out, getting it ready to show, so we'll be able to have that on the market here in the next couple of weeks.
You have a lot of people who are looking for something, say, that's less than $250,000.
Yes.
And you don't maybe have them come around just every day.
No, and when they do go on the market, you better grab it, because they don't last long.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of when you're looking, you better jump as soon as you see it. And I've already had people calling because we've got the signs in the yard coming soon. And we've already had people calling, got a list going of people that wants to see it as soon as we're able to show it.
This is a great time to be in real estate.
Love it.
Well, it seems to be, honestly, such a demand. I mean, it's people are wanting to buy homes.
Yes.
People are moving here, and you're right in the mix of all that.
Right in the mix. And, everybody, a lot of people are moving here from out west, and they're wanting a...
Who can blame anybody for moving from California?
Exactly. But we're needing more listings. A lot, people are coming, but they can't find a place. So we're always looking for new listings. But the 300 and under is what is very popular right now. It goes away really quick. As soon as it hits the market, you've got showings, and you might have multiple offers at that point.
Well, one of the things, she isn't here this morning. We can talk about her a little bit. Your mother, Miss Judy, but she has a wealth of knowledge.
Oh yeah,
and shares that with us from time to time. But she's been in this for a long time, and I know I'm not saying you don't, but you're still learning some from her, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
and she's been doing this for a long time. She and Mike both seem to just have a ready answer for almost anything.
Oh, of course, they're ready to jump as soon as before you get the question out of your mouth, they already know the answer. But yeah, they both are a wealth of knowledge, but it's the same thing whenever I'm learning from them and watching them, but at the same time they say, "Boy, I've learned something new today." So real estate, you think you might know everything, but you don't. Every day is different, and every closing is different. Every transaction is different. And you think you've got everything. Okay, I can do this if it's like this one next time. Well, no, there's no closings the same.
Well, and as complicated as real estate transactions have become, I mean, there is a lot of red tape, hoops to go through all of this. Government regulation, government really came down and demanded more several years ago, and you need a good realty person to help guide you through all of this.
Exactly.
And y'all been doing it for a long time. I think that's why you've been so successful.
Yes, and a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to pay a realtor because it's 6% of whatever I sell it for, but they don't. A lot of people don't understand what we do behind the scenes to help you make sure it is a smooth transaction. Yeah. And there's a lot that goes on that we have a timetable to meet, and you just want to have a good realtor by your side to make sure to hold your hand throughout the whole process, because especially if you're a first-time home buyer or you haven't bought or sold in quite a while, a lot of things have changed. Yeah. So you've got to have an advocate right there beside you to make sure that you're doing the right thing.
Well, you've got great advocates at the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. Anybody at Exit Rocky Top is fine, I'm sure, but you're here to talk about your particular team and your location there, and we mentioned calling you. The phone number, 615-443-3130, and somebody's going to answer that phone anytime
all
today.
The time.
Yep.
That's why you called me.
All right. 443-3130. And I guess it's time for you to say,
don't make a move without us.
Thank you, Medina. See you next time.
You.
We're about 20 before the hour, and today I have Patty Watts from the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. Here's, I guess maybe we could say you're substituting for Teresa this morning.
She is usually on the radio.
Yeah.
She's been a little under the weather, but she's doing a lot better. She's feeling a whole lot better. So.
Well, I hope.
Maybe she'll be back at the end of November.
Well, it's always nice to have you, and the two of you have worked together well. You're different people. I mean, no two people are exactly alike. I guess maybe some twins might be close, but the two of you have really done a great job at the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. You're the director. She's the assistant director, program director, and all of you wear several hats. Really,
yes.
There's not a large staff. There's a lot that is done, and it's been a different year because the center has been closed since March, I believe.
March the 13th.
You've got that date.
I do.
In your memory.
I do.
And
I've been asked enough.
I have the new newsletter that I think came to my house this week, and the first page talks about Happy Thanksgiving. And one of the things you are doing, Patty, and Helen and I enjoy this so much, the fact that you're still serving lunch. It's just not there at the center. And now we don't eat from there every day. You don't have something we want every day, but.
Well, I think it was like that when we were open, though. You know, I mean, that's why there's you have McDonald's and Burger King. Then you got Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A, but anyways, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, there's options out there. But when it comes to a well-rounded, hot cooked, semi-homemade, mostly homemade, for $4, we're popular.
Yeah, you really are, and I think even though all this time that we've been dealing with COVID, you didn't have the meals for a little while there, but you have for those homebound people. I don't think you ever stopped.
We did about 2 weeks.
Okay.
We took some box food because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know who to take, if we should go out. I mean, it was like, scared to death. But we were like, the homebounds need to eat. We can't, if we're not going to get to open right now, we need to at least feed them. They were tired. We were taking them. They never went without food from us. You'd be surprised how many people are living at home that do not have a child or a relative or somebody to care for them, to get them food, or to make sure that they have something. And so
you've done that.
We have.
I mean, you've been doing that for years.
For years.
But even during the very beginning of COVID and the rough time there, you still managed to.
As soon as this went down, we were like, what are we going to do? We got together with Beth Petty and a couple other people, Bob Black with the Community Foundation. They made a nice donation. We went and bought food. We bought all kinds of food. Food was donated. we made up boxes and we took them, but it was like Chef Boyardee, raviolis, you know, those little containers you can put in the microwave or open and warm up. Peanut butter crackers, peanut butter. We took them bread and milk, Bay's bread. We really tried to take them some stuff that they weren't going to starve to death. You know, they were going to have staples. So, but
you've got to feel good about that. Even though you couldn't, everything else was shut down, you still were able to take care of it.
What I really felt good about is that the community came to us and said, we got to do something. I said, yes, we are. We're doing something. Well, how can I help? What can I give? What can I do? You know, and everybody knows that our mission, I had, the question was asking me yesterday, why are you having this fundraiser? Today we have a little mini fundraiser.
Oh.
And I was like, well, we may not be open, but we're still doing a whole lot, and it still takes a little bit of money to do what we do. You know, we don't.
Tell us about the fundraiser today, and then we'll go to our break.
We are all going to be dressed up. This is not my dress-up outfit. We are. It's a big surprise. So the Lebanon Senior Center, we all have a costume, and we'll be out there handing out meals. And then Michael at Elmcroft is him and his staff will be out there, and Victoria from the pavilion, she's going to be out there. And then Avalon Care and Kelsey with American National Home Health. So it's a big group. And so we're hoping that everybody, and it's not just people that are buying lunch. If you're out there, MJ, if you're through there, just stop by and vote for the one you think's the funniest or the cutest or the scariest or whatever. I don't know what they're going to do. But if you are coming down Coles Ferry or Castle Heights, swing in and drop $1 in the bucket. You know, I told Mayor Ash, I said, you might see us in the streets. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, like the Shiners. We'll go up to the stoplight and, beg $1. But, $1 goes a long way. $1 goes a real long way at our center.
Well, all right. So you do that all day today, basically all day?
No, basically between 11 and 12,
Okay.
Probably 10:30 and 1 will be more like it.
Okay.
We're having chicken and dressing today.
Oh, yeah.
We have over 100 that have ordered a meal that are on our list.
Mm-hmm.
But we always have a little extra food. So all the food's going to get packed up today, and we're going to have the people who have ordered, like you and Helen, are on the list. Yours is going to be...
She's already called. Good.
I don't know. Maybe I'll check.
I think so.
I know you guys love the chicken and dressing. Yes. So those are going to be set aside, and all the extras will be over here. So if you're coming through, and if we have an extra lunch, you can buy one for $4 and try our food. And you don't have to be a member for that.
And vote.
And vote, yes.
Vote for the costume.
Yes, vote for the costume. The funniest, cutest, scariest.
Patty Watts, our Lebanon Senior Citizen Center Director, is here. We'll talk more after this break on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:47. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. And they've got the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $49.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, let's check in with Chuck.
Well, good morning. They're still working this crash here up against the wall on I-40 westbound at Stewart's Ferry Pike. You got all that traffic flow coming in from Mount Juliet area, from Wilson County in general here into Davidson County. Again, people are staring at it. The left lane is blocked up against the wall here on 40 westbound. Again, at Stewart's Ferry Pike. Heavy traffic now on 24 as you come out of Jolton. 65 is really busy coming down past Vietnam Vets. Hey, celebrate autumn this weekend at Ober-Gatlinburg during Oktoberfest. This is the last weekend. Check it out, obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on time traffic.
This is Coleman Walker inviting you to join Judge Barry Tatum and me for live election coverage starting when the polls close at 7 p.m. on November 3rd. It's brought to you by A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, Burdine Supply, Designer Carpets, Partlow Funeral Chapel, Powell & Meadows Insurance, Steve Mull Plumbing, and the Wilson Post. Join us for live election coverage November 3rd starting at 7 p.m. on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490.
With churches not being able to gather, we wanted to make sure our audience is aware of our regular Sunday morning programming. We call it God's Country. Starting at 7 to 7:15, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Then at 7:15 to 7:30, Old Path Missionary Baptist with Brother Jason Wheely. From 7:30 to 8, it's The Gospel Show, hosted by Miss Dean. 8 o'clock, it's College Hills Church with Minister Wilson McCoy. At 8:30 to 9, it's Word of God broadcast by Ronnie Briley. From 9 to 9:30, Hillcrest Baptist Church with Pastor John Ferguson. From 9:30 to 10:30, it's Call on God Today, hosted by Brother Kenneth Bowen. At 10:30, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. From 11 to 11:30, Maple Hill Church with Minister Rob Long. And from 11:30 to noon, it's Southern Gospel and Positive Country Music. Join us each Sunday on WANT or WCOR or online at WANTFM.com.
The 2020 Titans have all grown up together. They've had a taste of success in the playoffs, and they're back with Derrick Henry.
Henry 20, Henry 10.
Ryan Tannehill at quarterback.
Tannehill keeping around right end, driving, he's in.
A stout defense.
Titan ball.
And a head coach in Mike Vrabel who's ready to lead them.
Brought to you by Steve Lowe Plumbing and the Jewelers.
LHS, Cumberland University, and the Tennessee Titans. The winning teams are on WANT 98.9.
Lebanon High School football is live this season on WANT and WCOR. Join Tommy Bryan and the crew with all of the action brought to you by Bates Ford, Cedar Recovery of Middle Tennessee, the law firm of Clemens & Clemens, D.T. McCall & Sons, Fakes & Hooker Lumber, Sheriff Robert Bryan, Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, and Wilson Bank and Trust. Lebanon High School football Friday night starting with the pregame show at 6:30 on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and our thanks to Patty Watts for coming out this morning. Normally, Teresa Watts comes out to do this, but as I told you earlier, Teresa's been under the weather a little bit. We hope she's getting better, and one of these days will be back with us. But Patty, you're doing a good job so far.
Well, thank you, Coleman. I enjoy this. I really do. I like saying hi to everybody and getting to tell y'all what's going on.
Yeah, it's been a different year. It certainly has, and you've had to cope with some adversity here. The fact we haven't, I missed. In fact, yesterday after we ate the lunch that came from the Lebanon Citizen Center, I said to Helen, I said, I sure wish I could go play 2 or 3 games of pool because that's what we always did when we ate over there.
Well, and it's a funny thing because somebody will call and say, you know what, can we just come in and play pool? We won't tell anybody. And I'm gonna be honest with you.
It wasn't me.
No, it was not you. And then I had a couple of guys that said that they would recover the pool tables in exchange to be able to play. And I was like, well, that's a really good deal, but they want to, just the 4 of us want to we need a place to play cards. We miss it. We want to get back open. But honestly, and I've had people say to me, I would rather be sick and die than be this bored. But my thing to that is you would rather be sick and die until you got sick. And you were in the ICU, with a ventilator and didn't know what you were going to do. Yeah. And then the weakness that comes after it. Because, I've known some people personally that have had, the COVID. And the COVID, that just sounds like you got the sugar.
Well,
and it's not easy. It's not good.
And here again, most of the people, people, especially older people and with underlying conditions,
exactly.
as people seem to have been suffering the most and even dying the most from this. Yes. So, that's who you're trying to help.
Right.
And
right.
I think we understand basically. We just don't like it.
Right. I think you do understand basically. And then I have a lot of people said even if you did open, I wouldn't come back right away. Mm-hmm. And we do. We miss you guys. We call people. We have people call us. At the end of the day, we've probably touched more lives than when we were open. Just by calling them, just by checking on them, just by them calling us, doing the lunch. We started out, we would put down 50, we would, estimate buying food and stuff for 50 people when we started our curbside pickup. And it would give or take, more or less than 50. Now we're going for 60 because our average now is 60 a day. Like I said, today we have over 100 signed up, but everybody likes chicken and dressing.
But chicken and dressing's always been a popular Friday.
It has been. So if we have like fried chicken or spaghetti, fried chicken, if you guys vote, because voting is so important, on Tuesday, and everybody says, didn't save my sticker. I voted, by mail, and I did this. We're a trustworthy bunch. You just tell us honestly that you voted, and fried chicken on Tuesday is free. Please call today and sign up so we know how much if I need to order more.
Well, that's a great deal.
I know, but it's important to vote.
I saw it in the newsletter. I could hardly believe it, and I'm thinking, well, I don't have my voting sticker, but...
But if you tell me you voted, I'll believe you. and I've told all my staff that take phone calls, just all they have to do is say they did. I don't think you'd lie for a free chicken dinner, would you?
I wouldn't. Well, no, that's even some people, that's just a white lie. A lie's still a lie.
A lie's still a lie.
But no. But that's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
But today is chicken and dressing.
Right.
But you should have called yesterday.
You should have called up. But we'll have a few extra meals to the
right.
side.
You did mention that, and you got the opportunity to vote on the costumes today.
Yes, vote on the costumes. Come by, and I'm not going to limit it to $1. If you think somebody is super cute, give them $5 or $10. If all you have is a $20 bill in your wallet, that's okay. Because every penny, no matter who you vote for, we will count the money and see who has the most money. But no matter who you vote for, all the money will proceed the Lebanon Senior Center. Okay. They don't keep it. Elmcroft's not keeping it. The Pavilion, American Home Health, Avalon Care, they're not keeping the money. They're doing that to help sponsor and support us. So it'll all come back, and it'll be a little fundraiser.
Well, one of the jobs, one of the duties that you inherited when you became the director of the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center was efforts for fundraising. It's just incumbent on whoever's that. I mean, you and the whole staff.
Right.
You as director, it's in.
But it's in the budget.
Yeah, well,
you have to have so many. I think it's in the bylaws.
Right. You have a budget, but part of what you project here is based on how much fundraising you do. There's a lot of that is required.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And you have some good ones.
I have some very sad news.
Oh.
We have canceled the Valentine banquet.
Oh.
We had a board. We had a board of directors. You say already. In October, we're already soliciting, sponsorships, and we're soliciting, silent auction items, and we're going out there and we're trying to, we have to secure the venue, and there's a lot of money that goes into, putting that event on, and a lot of work. And so one of the things that we had decided was we didn't think it was fair for us to solicit items from small businesses, and ask them to give us something for free when they're probably already hurting because of, the situation that we've been in, since March, and the sales and closing and, everything that's been happening. We didn't feel like we could honestly and with a good heart go and say, hey, will you give me something? Because that's going to be something that comes out of their pocket. So that was one reason, and then without the silent auction, the meal carries itself kind of, but the biggest part of the money comes from the silent auction. And so we didn't want to do that. And then what if our sales were down? With, social distances. What if this isn't over? Because February the 14th is just around the corner, and the governor has already mandated a lot of things through December the 29th. So I don't think that Governor Lee sees us slowing down much before the end of the year. So, and then you're asking volunteers to go out there and ask for table sponsors and this. And so now you're, more contact, so we just didn't feel like it was feasible this year to try to do that. We didn't know that it would be a gain for anybody.
So what are you going to do as far as fundraising?
We're gonna dress up and ask for $1.
One of the other things you have done, I think, that's probably made a little money for the center, some of the trips that you have taken, which you have mostly been in charge of. And I mean, you've gone even out of the country a few times and taken some really exotic trips, really, for those who want to go and can't afford to do that.
Right.
And
that was a fundraiser.
And that's been put on hold, too.
Yes, we had to cancel, all of our trips, all of our fundraising, so, it would make money if like 50 people or more went, but like it kind of broke even at 30. So that's why you would say, you have to have 30 people to go. Yeah. And then after 30, and then that money would, go back into the budget of the senior center. So, and then seniors like to travel together. Yeah. They don't necessarily, it wasn't about money. It was feeling safe and getting to go places that you wanted to go. A lot of seniors are widowers now, and they don't want to travel alone. So it would put you together with a group of people, and you would have fun, you'd have memories. And, it just seems like every month I have a memory pop up on Facebook of where I was 4 years ago. I was in Budapest 4 years ago.
Wow.
So,
how long have you been director?
Oh gosh, since 2010. So it's been 10 years.
Yeah, about 10 years.
Yeah.
You've learned a lot. You've done a lot, but it's been an exciting time too, hasn't it?
It has been a wonderful, wonderful and exciting time. I have enjoyed it. I've loved it. Teresa and I have been working together 17 years. I've been there 17 years. She's been there 19 years. 19 years this month in October. So, 20 years next year she'll be there. But we'll have to have a big celebration for her.
Well,
but yeah, it's been a good ride.
While I got a moment here, I want to thank you. We have especially in the last 2 or 3 years, sold a lot of Lebanon Lions Club pecans at your place. Of course, you've got them over there now selling for us for those who drive up and get their meal each day. If they want a bag of pecans, you'll sell them, and we thank you for that.
I'll have to give a shout out to Mary Mabry. She's your best customer. But we had a lot of people asking, "Are you going to be selling pecans?" Because everything's so different, and it was asked of me in a very forlorn way. Are you at least going to have pecans this year? And so that's when I called you and I said, "Hey, Coleman, are we going to have we're going to have pecans?"
And they're here. They've been here about a week now, so you can get them there if you come and get your meal today. All right, we've got a minute left here today. You're going to have chicken and dressing, and you've got some extra. Those who called yesterday, with 100 of them, will definitely get theirs.
Yes.
And then whatever's left over, you come and vote for the costume and leave some money with your vote.
Right.
This is a fundraiser.
It is, and it's important. We do get some city and county funds, some United Way funds, but that's less than half of our budget. Yeah. So we rely on fundraising, we allow donations, and I do want to thank those. My donations when we had the board of directors last week, we were up in donations. So people have been, mindful. We're doing good on membership. Of course, it's a lot lower than it was, but membership's okay. Donations are up this quarter than they were the last 2 quarters of the 2 previous years.
Well, we're out of time, but I forgot. I will do my
due diligence.
We will do our membership today.
Oh, you haven't got your membership signed up?
No, I don't think we did. That's just kind of slipped me.
No, I think you have, because if you're buying lunches from us, it's kind of a requirement.
We'll see. All right.
But we'll let you slide, Coleman.
Patty, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Patty Watts, Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. That's it for a Friday. Have a nice weekend. And until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.